Are you ready for the Trump Show election chaos season finale?
You're going to have this period of 9 days or 7 days or whatever it is, and many bad things. Ballots are going to be, we just found 10,000 ballots. Oh, that's good. We just found another 10,000. This is a horrible thing that the United States Supreme Court has done to our country. And I say it loud, and I say it proud.
Come on, man. What is he doing?
I think it's a terrible thing when ballots can be collected after an election. I think it's a terrible thing when people or states are allowed to tabulate ballots for a long period of time after the election is over, because it can only lead to one thing, and that's very bad. You know what that thing is. I think it's a very dangerous, terrible thing. And I think it's terrible when we can't know the results of an election the night of the election in a modern day age of computer. I think it's a terrible thing, and I happen to think it was a terrible decision.
Voting day has finally arrived, and the final polls have Biden way ahead of Trump of today's vote. Though of course opinion polls are not very accurate, tend to be skewed against conservatives due to liberal polling bias. So the actual result is very unlikely to be what the pollsters and pundits expect, as was the case in 2016, a huge 4% deviation, and even more so in the electoral college. Whereas my election matrix analysis forecast, which did accurately forecast Trump winning in 2016, does still conclude in a Biden win in 2020 on about 49.1% against 46.4% for Trump, and securing more than 300 electoral college votes for Biden. But what if the polls are wrong to the same degree as in 2016? Can Trump still win? The answer is no. The polling error needs to be a lot bigger than even 2016 for Trump to win, so the chances of Trump winning are negligible. However, in the face of defeat, it does not look like that Trump is going to go quietly into the night, and it all has to do with the counting of millions of mail-in ballots, in which respect Biden has a 3-1 advantage over Trump, as many more Democrats heeded the coronavirus warnings and chose to vote early by mail rather than stand in long voting queues for hours at polling stations and risk getting infected, of course. Which means on election night the advantage will be in Trump's favour, as many mail-in ballots will only be counted on the 4th and 5th of November, bonfire night for the UK. So whatever lead Trump has on election night will be whittled away in Biden's favour on the 4th and 5th, when the final result will likely be known, if it's close. This has prompted Trump, the agent of chaos, to seek to delegitimize the counting of ballots after election night, and thus, if he is ahead on the polls, could come out in the early hours and declare himself victorious, signaling that he will send in an army of lawyers to prevent the inclusion of mail-in ballots after election voting night, or morning of the 4th.
Every day, watch ballots come in. Gee, if we could only find 10,000 more ballots. Because we're doing great in Nevada, we're doing great in Arizona, we're doing great all over. But if you take Nevada or Pennsylvania, and everyone knows what happens in Philadelphia, you don't have to say it, but I've read about it for years. And I don't think it's fair that we have to wait a long period of time after the election. If people wanted to get their ballots in, they should have gotten their ballots in long before that, a long time. They don't have to put their ballots in the same day. They could have put their ballots in a month ago. And we think it's a ridiculous decision. Thank you.
Win, lose, or draw in this election, will you commit here today for a peaceful transferal of power after the election? And there has been rioting in Louisville, there's been rioting in many cities across this country, red and your so-called red and blue states. Will you commit to making sure that there is a peaceful transfer transferal of power after the election?
Well, we're going to have to see what happens. You know that I've been complaining very strongly about the ballots, and the ballots are a disaster.
And that, but people are rioting. Do you commit to making sure that there's a peaceful transferal of power?
We want to get rid of the ballots, and you'll have we'll have a very peaceful. There won't be a transfer, frankly. There'll be a continuation. The ballots are out of control. You know it. And you know who knows it better than anybody else? The Democrats know it better than anybody else. Go ahead.
Mr. President, the second question is, will you...
Please, go ahead.
Why won't
you asked the question.
Why won't you...
You're going to have this period of 9 days or 7 days or whatever it is, and many bad things. Ballots are going to be, oh, we just found 10,000 ballots. Oh, that's good. We just found another 10,000. This is a horrible thing that the United States Supreme Court has done to our country. And I say it loud, and I say it proud.
Come on, man. Come on, man. Come on, man.
Though, of course, Biden could do the same if the count is very close. So unless Trump or Biden decisively win on election night, then the US could be in store for much political, social and financial markets chaos. The stock market will crash maybe 10% at least. So there's going to be a lot of chaos over the coming weeks and maybe even months as Trump attempts to cling on to power through any means at his disposal, let alone his rhetoric of stolen elections and a coup acting to trigger right-wing militias to go on the rampage. And where election night is concerned, then keep your eyes on Florida because they count their votes early, so any early win there for Biden would be an early sign that Trump has lost. While if Trump wins Florida, then he could put off another election miracle like 2016. And ensure you're subscribed to this YouTube channel for new videos.
It'll be interesting tomorrow night, I think, when Hillary Clinton wins, that Donald Trump will have lost this election from the very first day he announced.
If the numbers bear out what we're seeing thus far, Hillary Clinton will win Florida. And the delicious irony in this is that Donald Trump will have been kept from the White House by a big, beautiful brown wall.
And CNN projects Donald Trump will carry the state of Florida, Kentucky, Indiana, West Virginia, Oklahoma, Tennessee, Mississippi, South Carolina, Alabama, Kansas with its 6 electoral votes, Nebraska with its 5 electoral votes, and Wyoming with its 3 electoral votes, North Dakota with its 3 electoral votes, and South Dakota, Texas, Arkansas. He has now taken the lead. Donald Trump has 128 electoral votes. Louisiana, the state of Montana, Missouri, Ohio. He has 167 electoral votes compared to Hillary Clinton's 109. Idaho, North Carolina, Georgia, Iowa, Utah, Wisconsin, Arizona.
But we should really just take a moment here and look at this. Pollsters predicted that Hillary Clinton was going to have not just a victory, but that she was going to win an electoral landslide. Not only is that not happening, it is entirely possible that Donald Trump is truly redrawing the map the way that he said he was going to. It was Donald Trump versus almost all the experts, and as of right now, it looks like Donald Trump was right.
Donald Trump has defeated Hillary Clinton to become president-elect of the United States.
Sorry to keep you waiting. Complicated business. Complicated.
This is not the outcome we wanted or we worked so hard for. And I'm sorry that we did not win this election.
I love this country.